Hello, welcome to our assembly. I start these assemblies by saying good morning because I've always done assemblies in the morning, but sometimes your teachers play these to you in the afternoon and I say good morning. So I need to start thinking about hello rather than good morning. I hope you're having a really, really good day. If you are not having a really, really good day, why not? What are you going to do about it to make it into a brilliant day? Which one of these things do you think you could concentrate on to make things brilliant for you? Because I know that all of you are absolutely fantastic. So I want you to have a look at these words, have a think about these words that we've been thinking about all term so far, how they're really, really important things for us all to be. Okay. And I want you to have a look at this as well. There. And we've seen that before. So I'm going to do a Heart Smart assembly now. Okay. But I'm going to come back to these two pictures, these two slides that we've just had a look at, and I'm going to ask you to tell your teachers at the end, which of these do you think are really important when we're thinking about our Heart Smart theme of too much selfie isn't healthy? Okay, so it's not thinking about ourselves, it's thinking about other people. So which one of these words are important when we think about other people? And which of the global goals are important when we think about other people? Okay, right, so here we go. You can see Boris the robot. There he is. There's old Boris, and he's there. And I've got to get my other set of notes on the screen as well so that I can make sure that I'm reading the right things for you. So we know that Heart Smart is about being smart with our heart, because what our heart does affects absolutely everything. And this is one of the Heart Smart high five. Too much selfie isn't healthy. Okay, and it's about how we show love and empathy to those around us and how that makes us feel when we help other people, when we do kind things for other people. So helping someone else actually is a good thing for us as well. So there is a really important word that we're going to look at today. And we use the word empathy a lot, but what does it actually mean? Okay, having empathy for somebody. So have a talk about that in your class. It might just be that you've heard the word, but you don't know what it means. Talk about that in your class. Stop the video if you need to, while I have a slurp of tea. So empathy is the ability to understand what somebody else is feeling and to share the feelings of another person. It's not always easy, but it's really, really important when we learn to communicate with people. So before we can show empathy to others, we need to know how they're feeling. So there are often clues that we can use to find out how a person is feeling if we stop long enough to take notice. Okay, so we've got a whole range of things. So how might you know how somebody's feeling? Have that conversation in class now. Work out between you how you might know how somebody's feeling. So there's lots of different ways, aren't there? Lots of different ways. Facial expression could be really straightforward. You've got a massive smile on your face. Your face is all red and screwed up because you're really cross, or you're crying. That gives somebody a clue as to how you feel. It's really straightforward. Body language. Right. Have a look at this person on the screen. How are they feeling? Like that. Might be a bit cross. Might be a bit put out at something. Might be angry with someone. If I'm sitting like this, if I'm in my lesson, I'm sitting like this, and Mrs. Miller is teaching about maths, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at this. I'm bored, but I wouldn't be bored in Mrs. Miller's maths lessons because Mrs. Miller's maths lessons are great. So there's other ways. Okay. Instead of facial expression, we could think about actions. Okay. And our actions can show how other people are feeling. So if you know if somebody is jumping up and down, then they might well be excited. If they turn away from you, they might be cross with you. They might not want to talk. So we're using all of these visual clues to tell how people feel. And a really easy one to tell how people feel is words. Go away. See, I'm cross. Oh, do you know what? You're absolutely fantastic. I think you're so strong to be able to do that. I think you're so brave. Admiring. Okay. So it's easy to work out from people's words. Sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult. I don't want to play the game. Why don't they want to play the game? Is it because they just don't want to and they're being cross and grumpy? Or is there a better reason that they don't want to play the game? Do they feel a bit worried about joining in and being seen that they can't manage it quite as well? Right. So let's have a look at our next slide. Now, these are all of our clues. Okay, and they're very helpful ways to tell how somebody's feeling, but they don't always tell us what's really going on inside of someone. So a friend might say they're okay, but actually they're not. And once we know how someone is feeling, come on, there we go. Oops. There we go. Once we know how someone is feeling, the next step is to find out why they're feeling that way and to think about what we can do to help or support them. So sometimes this could be a listening ear, an arm around the shoulder. It might be something practical we can do, or we might need to get help from an adult. Okay. So it's about helping someone else. And this is where that too much selfie isn't healthy is really, really important, because if you can help other people, then you will feel good about yourself as well. So, because we like a good story at Wincham, I'm going to read you a bit of a story. Now, it's not from a book this time. It's just a story that I've got on the screen in front of me that I'm going to read for you. Okay, so listen ever so carefully about the story about these two friends. There was once a king and queen who lived happily with their two sons. When the princes were young, a dreadful fire broke out and burnt their palace home to the ground. The family was so upset they lost all their belongings. We shouldn't be sad, said the king. We still have each other, and as long as we do, we'll be okay. So the family moved into a new home and began to rebuild their lives. Now, soon after, the king became very ill and died. The queen was terribly sad, but she still had her two princes, and she remembered what the king had said. We still have each other, and as long as we do, we'll be okay. So the queen wiped away her tears and promised to spend her life looking after the princes. The queen did a fine job, and the princes grew to be wise and handsome young men. They found love and married two kind women, Sachi and Jada. All was well until tragedy struck again, and the princes were killed in battle. The queen was heartbroken. In her sadness, the queen decided the girls must leave and start their lives again. The queen loved the two girls dearly and wanted them to find happiness with new husbands. I can't leave you, Sachi said. But the queen insisted. I'll be fine. And the two women cried, hugged, and said goodbye. But Jada refused to go. I won't leave you when you're so sad and alone. She repeated a saying that she'd heard many times in the palace. We still have each other, and as long as we do, we will be okay. And the queen smiled. Sensing Jada wouldn't change her mind, she took her hands. Yes, dear, we still have each other. And as long as we do, we'll be okay. Wow, what an unselfie friend Jada was. Jada saw the clues that even though the queen said she was okay, she was still very upset. She showed real love and empathy for the queen by giving up the opportunity to find a new husband to stay and look after her friend. So, have a think of ways that you can show empathy to others this week. Okay? How can you show empathy to others? How can you think about how somebody is really feeling? Even if they say they're fine, what do you know about how they're actually feeling? And I said right back at the start of the assembly that I wanted you to think about these words. Okay, so Which of these words are important when we're thinking about empathy? Too much selfie isn't healthy. Talk to your partner about it. I wonder if you've got them. It's not quite so easy, this one. I thought peaceful was important. I thought respectful was important. Caring and kind are definitely important. Self-aware, so you know how you're feeling. Thoughtful about others. And possibly also empathetic. There you go, because that's the root word for empathy. And listeners. So if we're doing those, if we're being all of those things, which global goals are we working towards? Well, if we've got empathy and I can make somebody who is upset feel better, I can help somebody who's upset, then we've got good health and well-being. But also we've got peace and justice, because we are then being at peace with ourselves, at peace with each other. Okay, so we've got two really, really important global goals. And actually, because you're working with someone else, you're helping with someone else, there's this partnership for the goals as well. Okay, so 3 important global goals in our assembly today. There you go. Now, let's stop sharing my screen. Like I said at the start, I started my assembly by saying good morning, and I don't know whether you're watching it in the morning or not. So I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Like I said at the start, if you're not having a great day, make it a great day. Make it a great day. Be unselfie, help someone else, and see if you can feel that day becoming better for you as well. Have a lovely rest of the day. Bye-bye.